All right, everyone. Adam here from Bold Logic doing another market analysis for you this weekend. Hopefully, everybody had a good, nice, relaxing weekend. Enjoy some football. I know I enjoyed watching the Texans beat the Jags. It's always a good way to end the Sunday. But now we got to get ready for the market. Last week we had a huge spike on Thursday with the Fed announcing the QE3, going out and buying the mortgage-backed securities, pretty much untapped resources and going to be able to prop up the market. So Friday we had a digestion day. It went up a little bit in the morning, and then it finally started to peter out throughout the day. Pretty much was in a downtrend all day. Finished right at that upper trend line, so we definitely got to watch that. See if we're going to pull back a little bit here, or maybe push forward just a little bit more. We had a great volume come in, as you can see down here. Great volume come in this last couple of days as the market was just flooded as it took off. Name of the game for this week is going to be overextended. The market is overextended right now. You can see on the stochastics we are overbought, we are overextended as our run up from the 1400s all the way into the 465 has pretty much been unstopped. You can also see we're outside the Bollinger Bands on the S&P, outside the Bollinger Bands on the Nasdaq, and outside the Bollinger Bands on the Russell. So we need to lighten up here, and we need to be able to pull back a little bit, maybe move sideways like we did in this area, sideways like we did here, maybe a pullback like over here, something to work off our overbought, overextended, give people and the charts time to reset, figure out what they're doing, and then re-attack the market and push to new highs. As you see, we're already at multi-year highs. So we do need to cool off a bit before we can really gain the steam and the power behind us. Just as the market right now, I am already looking at it and I'm saying I don't want to get heavy long here just because I know we're going to need to cool off. This market's not going to be able to run up forever. It's going to have to come back sooner or later. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, but one of these days down this week, the market is going to have to pull back and it's going to have to cool off. And that's the time I really want to start looking into getting long, not right now when the market's pretty hot and heavy. So I do want to see a pullback or just a move sideways. It doesn't have to pull back. If we do get a pullback, we can see one to that 1440, 1438 level. Even a pullback all the way down to the 1420s is still very bullish, in my opinion. This was our major breakout, that 1420 level. That was the major breakout. As you see, we tapped it up here, came all the way down and all the way back up, tapped it again, and then finally we broke out. So a retest of that 1420 level will just be a great place to get in long. Just like when a stock retest a breakout level, that's the level that we broke out. That's the level we would like to see retested, and we can really get long there. So any move back to that 1420 level is still going to be real bullish. So from a bear perspective, you don't really want to get heavy short here. This is just going to fight the trend. Maybe you want to move to a more cash heavy position inside your portfolio and then wait to see if we do break some major support. Maybe we come down and actually break through that 1420 level. Well, then it would be a good time to start really getting short. Wait for those major level breaks. I'm not really going to look to fight the trend here by getting heavy short. I'd rather either be long or in cash. Remember, cash is a position, so don't be afraid to sit in some cash and take it. And then when the charts really start setting up, that's when we deploy that cash and really put it to use. I already showed you a little bit about the NASDAQ and how it's overextended. Here's a better view. As you see, nice breakout here from this little top, that 3100 level. Again, we could see a retest of that. We have that strong support all the way across. So that would be our breakout level here. So a retest of that, and then a bounce would be perfect. Again, we can also fall all the way down into the 3000 level. That would be a great area for another bullish bounce. Looking at the Russell, this one is really overextended. It didn't have much of a rest here in the middle. It was already overextended coming off these lows. So this one really needs to really pull back. The small caps have been running pretty strong. Definitely would like to see it pull back into the 845s, even into the 830s. That way we can get a nice setup of these small cap charts and really see a nice breakout. Again, not looking to go heavy long anywhere right now. Just going to have to wait and see what happens, see if we can get a consolidation and really set up the charts. Looking at the VIX, we had a huge sell-off in the VIX coming that Thursday just because the VIX was elevated like we were talking about for the Fed talk. Nobody knew what they were going to do. Well, they had an idea, but they didn't know how far they were actually going to take the QE3. Now that we know it, volatility comes crashing down. Europe is now going to buy bonds. China's talking about upping their stimulus plan. We have the QE3. There's not too many things to really get volatile about right now. So I expect us actually to run sub 16s at least till the end of the year. Maybe not the whole time, but at least for the majority. I would expect us to run sub 16s, just low volatility environment, and just to see if we can hold that all the way throughout the year. I don't really see anything forecasted that could actually push us higher. Maybe something unforeseen can happen that will spike the volatility, but right now I just don't see anything that's going to keep it elevated. Again, talking about overextendedness, technology, financials, both overextended. Financials are really overextended. They look like they're going to actually come down. Big volume spikes here. That's always good to see. Transports, we've been talking about how these are very overextended. The stochastics are through the roof. Volume is coming in nicely, but the run-up has been straight up with no down days here. We pushed through the top of this downward channel or this downward trend line. This would be a good time to pull back, maybe rest somewhere here in this 5100s area around these moving averages. That way we can set up the charts. Remember, tonight starts the Jewish New Year. I believe it ends on Tuesday. If it doesn't, I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but we usually have a low volume time during these couple of days. So again, this now is going to be the perfect time to actually set up for a nice pullback or consolidation. So be careful going out there trading tomorrow because you just don't want to get caught in these low volume markets. You don't want to be caught in these stocks that are real low volume. We also have quadruple witching hour. As you can see on our Bloomberg calendar, our quadruple witching hour, which means we're getting a bunch of contracts like the futures contract, options expiration, all expiring this Friday because it's the end of the quarter. So a lot of weird market action, a lot of option pinning, stuff like that is going to happen. Position unwinding, etc., is going to happen as we move into this Friday, which means trading is going to be really weird. It'll be really choppy and jerky. So be careful trading into that Friday. You don't want to get too leveraged. As for our other days, we don't have too many reports coming out. We have Empire State, housing information. Of course, our jobless claims always comes out on Thursday. Ben Bernanke is doing a little speaking on Wednesday. And besides that, that's about it for our reports. All right, everyone, that does it for our market analysis. Remember, the name of the game right now is we are overextended. Let's wait to see if the chart set us up something better. Don't get too leveraged and too heavy long right now. Let's see what's going to happen. Don't get too heavy into the shorts just because right now you are fighting the trend. Even though we do need a pullback, you are fighting the tape, and you don't really want to get in front of the bus. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night.